Hi Gemini, this is your forecast for the month of September 2017. If you have visited me before, I want to thank you for returning, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. This is a general reading for Gemini Sun, Gemini Rising, or Gemini Moon. It might also be helpful for you to watch your rising and moon sign as well. You can join me on Facebook and Instagram for daily insights on tarot and astrology, as well as my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/thealchemistastrologer, where you can find on-demand pages for love, finance, and other readings. So Gemini, this first week of September, you are looking to move away from a situation. Something that's been negative, troubling. Maybe it's even caused you some depression or some stress or tension, and you want to move past that. So this is a transition week for you where you're releasing some tension, maybe going with the flow. You could be making some changes, like just changing your attitude. But there's something that you want to put to an end of sorts. Again, a troubling situation. Maybe you're cutting some ties. Maybe you are, trying to get past a negative situation with somebody, and you want to reconcile what has gone on and improve it. So you're looking to make some beneficial changes. For others of you, you're actually traveling somewhere. Maybe this is somewhere you've been before. Maybe this is an unexpected trip that has come up. For some of you, you're revisiting a place you've been to before. And for others of you, you're just dealing with people at a distance. Travelers are important. In fact, this is going to be a surprise week where you probably will get some unexpected news of some sort. There could be some encounter you have with somebody, or somebody from your past shows up on the horizon. So you're making some changes, and again, that could be, just changing the way you look at a situation, and it could be connected to any area of your life, personal, professional, whatever it is. Though this is something, it's like old ground, something that you've been going around and around with, never really coming to any real resolution, and feeling as if you're at starting point. So you are rethinking some things. You're looking at a situation, you want it to improve. Either you want to improve it, or you just want to get past it altogether. You want to get through these troubled waters. And so you're having to do some self-examination. You're looking at yourself, and you're looking at the people involved in the situation, because you just want to get a grasp on it. You want to understand it in a better light. And so because it's difficult, it's going to require some patience on your part. Whatever you're doing, if you're traveling or if you're trying to move into some new territory, this is going to be good for you if it opens you up to some new possibilities. But whatever's playing out, it's probably not going to unfold the way that you have pictured it in your mind. Now, in the positive, this is going to be a very easy situation for you this week. If you've been dealing with some time wasting and some pointless situations and harmful habits that you've been repeating, this is a week where you're just going to make that decision, let this go. It's not helping me. It's not putting me ahead. You want to move on. It's getting in the way of you dealing with situations and people that you enjoy. So you want to let go of the riffraff, the unnecessary, the extraneous, because you want to devote your time to things that are worthwhile to you. Again, now some of you are meeting up with people from your past, somebody that maybe you do enjoy. But on the other hand, this is all about gaining understanding about how to move on from abusive, negative, toxic time-wasting situations. And so the strength of who you are will be challenged. Something is going to disappoint you. You're going to, in your examination of a situation that you're involved in that you haven't felt good about, you're going to be looking at someone or situation and feel let down in some way. And this is something, again, this is old ground for you. This isn't new. This is a continuous disappointment from this person. So there's some things that maybe you thought had been worked out or resolved, or you thought you were on the same page, or you had come to some kind of understanding, and you're going to find out that that is not the case at all. And some issues are going to pop up in your face unexpectedly, and you're not going to be happy about it. This is also a week for you to be very mindful of who you are connecting yourself to and what kind of situations you're getting involved with, because you could be vulnerable to the wrong influence, and that has you starting from square one all over again. So this week is all about knowing where to put your emotion, your energy, and your time, because you could be wasting too much of that and putting too much effort toward people and situations that aren't worth it, that don't match up to you, that are not compatible, and that are not going to bring you any progress. And so you're going to find yourself making some old mistakes that you've made before. Now, the second week, you have a very fortunate card. So for some of you, last week was about, visiting somewhere. Maybe you were traveling to some kind of gathering, some type of celebration. Maybe you're traveling to see family members, or you're traveling on a vacation, or you are going to some kind of function. For some of you, maybe you're traveling to a property. This is going to be a week where people are gathered. It's a feeling of making progress. Maybe you're trying to make some beneficial changes in a project that you're working on. You're trying to lay the foundation and move past some troubling situations. And this seems to be a week where you actually make some progress. It's that initial stage where you feel like you're on the right track. And so you feel good about where you are, and you're excited about, continuing. So now some of you, again, maybe you're moving house, maybe you're moving in together, maybe you're decorating your home. This is all about prosperity, sharing, community. And for some of you, again, this is some kind of social event or a vacation that you're involved in. So this week is, it's about connections to others and how much you feel you belong, how secure you are. So you could find yourself taking those steps to create some kind of opportunity for you where you get a better handle on something. Either you're completing something or you're building on something, and whatever you're doing, you're trying to create a beneficial situation for you and others. So again, last week you were trying to examine something that wasn't right for you, or something that, was difficult, and trying to understand it in order to move forward and get to a better place. And this week, you may feel that you're making some progress with that. So there are going to be some unexpected opportunities for you to make those changes you were seeking last week that make you feel stronger, better, more reinforced with your sense of security. And so this could be about, opening yourself up to love, giving it and receiving it, and loving yourself, being generous, or making some beneficial changes by recognizing that you need to be more loving, or you need to have more love in your life. So this is going to be a week where you can navigate those troubled waters and create the outcome that you desire. So by being flexible, by being open, by being generous, then you can make some things flow for yourself. You can get along with even difficult people, challenging situations. At the very least, this is going to be a week where you get to find out where you stand with a situation. And when you get that information and when you see that full picture, it's going to give you the chance to put the skids on something. Maybe you prevent further damage, or you get to backtrack and create beneficial changes by undoing some damage. Whatever it is, you get to recapture that peace of mind for yourself. Now, for some of you, part of the issue has been that you've been working against yourself because you've just been rushing into something without giving it due thought. Maybe you say something and you don't understand what the repercussions are of your words until they come back and bite you. Or you make decisions that ultimately, work against you. For some of you, this is a negative situation because either you or somebody you're dealing with is very difficult to please. No matter what kind of effort is put in, no matter what approach, what angle is taken, it doesn't work out. And the only thing that the person can see is the shortcomings. So for some of you, this could be a week, especially if you need to bring more love into your life, where you're having to think about, your security. You may have been, or someone you're with may have been too self-absorbed, too self-involved, thinking only of what is good for me, and that's leaving somebody blind to the truth of a situation. Now, the third week, you have some new beginning in the way you're speaking, the way you're thinking, the way you're communicating. So if you were trying to make some progress and move past a negative situation, this could be the week where you get some new ideas. Something brilliant comes to mind. You're getting a lot of inspiration, a lot of quick fire of ideas. And you have the fortitude to act on those. You're putting your will into motion because there's some new determination. And so you're acting with authority about something that you feel. Now, for some of you, again, if this was not, not being able to please anybody or not knowing what to do to make something better for yourself, it could be that either you or somebody else you're dealing with, you're not saying what needs to be said. You're not speaking your truth. Both of you are waiting for the other person to make the decision, to make the move, to make the choice. And so you're just kind of hanging in this limbo. And this week gives you the opportunity to cut through that fog, because on an instinctual level, after you have examined a situation, you know what's wrong with it. You know where things are falling short. There's a strong desire for you this week to bring your ideas to life. You want to attract whatever it is that you desire. You want to make that progress. And you want to be able to speak in a way that influences other people. Now, for some of you, you're going to be more forceful with your thinking and your ideas, and you are putting things in motion. And so for you, you're not taking any hesitation to make the necessary moves to make that progress. You're going to take that first step and you're going to clear the air. You're going to know exactly how the other person feels because you initiate that dialogue and you tell them how you feel. For some of you, it's been a negative, abusive situation because somebody is a bully, or they're an exploiter, or they're playing the victim card. There's been a negative situation because there's been some twisted logic about a situation. And you wanted to make some progress, but somehow the decision has gone against you. Or maybe you've just been overthinking a situation. But whatever it is, it's possible that somebody has been using too much force. They've been abusing their power. They haven't been fair. Or maybe somebody's disregarding the feelings of others. either you or the other person. So there are issues of domination at play. And there's also the possibility during this week of either winning or losing more than you expect. So it could be that somebody is having to face a truth this week. It could be that there's been some emotional misrepresentation going on, or somebody has been misconstruing the facts, not facing the truth. But again, this should be a week where you gain some kind of clarity, where you come to an understanding about where you and another person are relative to one another. Now, the last week you have the Three of Wands reversed. Now, I don't normally read reversals, but this card, when I shuffled, it came out as a reverse, and so I have to honor that as it stands. So this could be a week where, there's a loss of direction. Maybe you've been trying to move past a situation, make some progress. For some of you, maybe that was a legal or a medical issue, but nothing's moving forward this week. Maybe if it appeared it was promising, or you were making some progress, or perhaps now you know exactly where you are in a situation and you don't know which way to head now. Now you're really rethinking some things, because you're questioning either your motives or the motives of others. Maybe somebody is changing their mind about a situation. It could be that somebody is just not cooperating, and so you feel like you've been wasting your efforts, or that the people you're connected to, those alliances, really aren't helpful to you. Maybe you were involved in something that, again, looked promising, but ultimately by the end of this month, this venture is just failing to deliver, whatever that is, whether it's professional, whether it's personal. So you're meeting with some opposition. You're finding that your goals are hard to reach, and some of those goals may have been unrealistic from the start. For some of you, you're dealing with some difficulties in business. You may need some help with something. And for some of you, it could be a situation where somebody is just too proud to reach out and ask for that help or accept the help. So this could be a week where, again, you are taking stock of a situation based on what you have found out. You're weighing your options, and maybe, it may be good for you to get with another person, to go over something, put your heads together to come up with some ideas. Whatever it is, there was a focus on your future. That's what the concern was. You were anticipating something in your future. And now you're having to rethink what's going on. So something has fallen through at the last minute. Somebody's being unreliable. They've canceled, or they're changing the story, or they're not putting all the information out there. And so this is a week where you are really going to have to show up for yourself. You're not going to be able to count on somebody coming through at the last minute or saving the day. And for many of you, part of the issue has been that, you've been trying to make others believe a situation, and you've been trying to cover up where there have been some shortcomings, and those are becoming way more apparent at this stage of the game. Now, the underlying energy is this Seven of Swords. So we have some issues this month of either some treachery, some deception, issues of theft, or simply wasting time, being taken advantage of, being exploited. So some of you may be avoiding truth. You may be avoiding some issues. There may be some escapist tendencies. But this could be a month that focuses again on some very negative situations that you need to move past. It could be that, somebody's doing something underhandedly, or there's some insincerity about something. Somebody's getting ripped off, or they're feeling cheated. There are issues of betrayal, or where you have betrayed yourself and you've participated in some self-defeating habits. For some of you, there's some secret affairs taking place. There's some unfaithfulness that you're having to cope with, either on your part or the part of someone else. But there's a futility to a situation, and maybe that's it. You feel like nothing is moving forward. You just can't make things happen. There is an undercurrent of desire. There's a temptation toward a person or a situation, something that is very seductive, either to you or another person. So part of the issue could be somebody caught up in fantasies, or having their desires thwarted, somebody not getting what they wanted. Could also be some unexpected encounters. Whatever it is, this is going to be a month where things will situations are going to put either you or other people on the spot. Integrity is going to be scrutinized in some way. So either you're being overconfident about a situation, investing too much in a positive outcome, or there's a lack of confidence in something. Now, this is a month, given this card, you're going to have to be very discerning about the truth in order to make progress and move forward. So you're going to have to really be careful about what you believe. Don't be too quick to believe everything somebody is saying. And also, importantly, is watch what you are saying. Be careful about what you are putting out there. This is always a warning card. So somebody could be just outright stealing from you. But you could also be stealing from yourself. You could be wasting your time, your energy, your effort, your talent, your emotions, your money, the things that are valuable to you, by putting that in non-productive relationships or pursuits. And people can steal from you in all kinds of ways. They can waste your time. They can drain your emotions. They can try to pick your brain for knowledge. So the theft can be insidious. You may not even be aware that it's happening if you're not paying attention to it. Now, if there is any positive to this month, to this card, then it's the fact that, once again, if you're being mindful, it's going to be easier for you to diplomatically just back out of a situation. Just don't become involved in things that have nothing to do with you. This is a month for you to drive in your own lane. And for some of you, you're going to be surprised at the truth that does come out. Somebody is going to be very forthright about where they stand, and maybe that's shocking, maybe it's not something you wanted to hear, but at least they're not lying to you. Or maybe somebody may come through with a promise that you thought they would, or maybe you thought you weren't going to connect to somebody and they keep the appointment, they keep the date, whatever it is. Now, if this is a secret love affair, for some of you, you end up matching two people together, or maybe you end up matched to somebody and maybe you were resistant to it. You didn't think it was going to work out, but then you hit it off with this person. For some of you, you're going to come to the realization that, maybe you thought you were falling short or falling behind, but it's not as bad as you thought. You're not as far back as you initially felt. But for many of you, again, this Seven of Swords largely plays out in a negative manner. So you have to be careful. Be careful about, again, what you say, where you put your time, even where you are. Be careful about being in places that are unsafe, or being in places in certain hours that you shouldn't be. So be careful of your possessions, your health, and your safety. And your words, your speech, because that Ace of Swords is about communication. So something that you have said or something that you've done could come back to haunt you in some way. If you were trying to come up with some kind of scheme, you were going to try to get over on somebody or created some type of deceptive situation, that could backfire for you. So this is a month for you to maintain that integrity. Speak your truth and don't embellish it. And if you are looking for somebody else to show up, to come through, to give you that love you're looking for, to give you the affection, or to bolster you with their opinion, then you're going to find that codependency is what's going to drain your strength. It's going to cut into your confidence. It's going to erode your individuality. And you're not going to be able to effectively stand up for yourself because of it. So for some of you, you're dealing with some illusions where you need to take some steps because something that you want may not show up for you the way that you hope. Now, this is going to focus on your partnerships, your relationships with others, whether those connections are constructive for you or they're self-defeating. And it's not just also about the other person, it's what you're putting in. Are you dealing with people in a healthy way, and how are you letting them deal with you? So this is going to cover your professional and your personal relationships, and it's probably some older situation, because again, that Six of Swords says you have revisited this issue before. So this is probably something that's going to the next level, and it's probably this month going to open up very quickly. It's also about your thinking, your mindset. Are you able to deal with the truth? Can you stay rational in the face of whatever's going on in your environment and with the people in your environment? So you're going to have a series of small events that are going to act as the catalyst for you to make some overdue changes. Now, you have no majors in this spread, which says that you are largely pulling the strings. You've got a lot of control and you have a lot of options that you may not be considering. But there is a lack of stability to this situation. Either, again, somebody's not facing the truth, they're dealing with sort of this pie in the sky mentality, or there are just a lot of things that haven't been worked out yet. Something has not fully come to fruition yet. You're still working on the details. Whatever it is, there's not a lot of emotion. Somebody is being very devoid of emotion, almost cold, or it's just somebody's taking the logical route. Whatever it is, there's some frustration going on, and there's a review of that frustration. For some of you, this may center around a legal settlement of some sort or third-party interference. But there's definitely a review going on. For some of you, that's going to be about your finances. It's going to be about your relationships. It's going to be about proving a point or receiving some kind of vindication. Whatever it is, there's a review of frustration taking place. So for you, this is a time for doing, for acting, rather than just giving something lip service. You need to put your plans into place and make something happen. Now, you've got a lot, perhaps, of brilliant ideas. The Ace of Swords says that. And if you put your willingness to step up to the plate with that, then you can make some things happen. So you've got a lot of great ideas this month that you're excited about. This may have to do with connecting to somebody business-wise who is going to be listening to both sides of something before making a final decision, or maybe you're dealing with a decision maker in general, or somebody in a position of authority, or maybe you're that person, or in some cases this is somebody who has the ability to change the course of other people's lives. Now again, the focus is, coming together and putting this well thought out plan into action, and then getting others excited and on board as well. So whatever it is that you want to make happen, you're going to try to make sure that it does happen. So for some of you, these are things that are going to play out for a project or your career, and maybe you're going to be making a sudden change in your career, or maybe you're going to change your lifestyle completely, or you're going to reinvent your life in some kind of way. All right, Gemini, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And of course, you can always book a personal reading at thealchemistastrologer.com.